Hello, Chill Computer Guy. Today we're in Reason 9.5. We are checking out the Noxious additive wave synthesizer. This is by Zvork. Now, Zvork has a couple of plugins in the Rack Extension store. There are a couple of CV type of effect plugins, utilities, or whatever you want to call them, but pretty big fan of this company. I really like the look of their synthesizers and or effects and or utilities. This particular Noxious additive wave synthesizer just happened to be part of the end of summer sale. I got this for $9, which was a really good price. This regularly I think is a $60 rack extension, which I have tried this in the past. I remember downloading the trial. I think that I'll probably use this more for like high-end type of noise slash sparkle. Probably gonna layer this with other synthesizers. Yeah, like I say, I love the look of it, and I also like the workflow, and it's a pretty fun synth actually to sound design on. We're gonna go ahead and take you through the synthesizer. We have the default preset of Heavenly Bells. We'll go ahead and play through that. I got a little 8-bar loop that I just punched out real quick. We'll play through the default preset, and then we'll talk a little bit about this particular additive synthesizer. There it is. Wow. So we have basically an A minor scale there. We have a bar, and then we have some quarter notes, some eighth notes, and then some half notes there. Let's go ahead and put that away for now. I'm going to right click and initialize this by resetting the device. We start out from the upper left. We have a little LED to let you know if we're receiving MIDI data. Next to that, we have our standard polyphonic mono retrigger, mono legato, just the standard synthesizer stuff there. It's in a drop-down menu, which is interesting. Next to there, we have the glide function, the polyphony. What can we do? We can go up to up to 16, so we can play 16 notes simultaneously, if that's what we want to do. Next to that, we have our standard output envelope, ADSR, pretty standard filter mix. We can mix the two filters in with the signal. We have a velocity, of course, as this is cranked up. The keys are going to be very sensitive. If we put it down, the velocity is going to be the same. Doesn't matter how hard you hit the key. And then next to that, a master volume. Below that, we have our modulation. We have two LFOs with the standard wave, sine wave, triangle, square, all that stuff. Some random waves in there. We have a tempo sync button, and then we also have a key track, or a key sync rather. In other words, if you hit the key, it's going to re-trigger the envelope. It's basically a re-trigger. And then we can also put a delay on the LFOs. And what's nice about this is we can actually route the LFOs from right there. So we have a destination drop down right there, which is pretty handy. And then the intensity of the LFO, the strength, if you will. And then we have a second LFO, so these two are exactly identical. Below that, we have two envelopes, standard envelopes with, well, actually they're 9-point or 7-point envelopes. So we have our standard ADSR, and then we have a couple other points in there, so we can make a little bit more complicated and or sophisticated envelopes. And then, of course, each one of those has a destination drop down as well. And then below that, we have our modulation matrix, which is kind of great. The fact that you can select a destination with both LFOs and both mod envelopes opens up a couple slots here. You have 8 slots in the modulation matrix. You have your standard source and your standard destination, and then an intensity slider there, which is real great. And so that's kind of down across the top and down the right side. Now coming back up to the upper left, you have our oscillator. So it's a single oscillator here. You have different oscillators. You have a saw, chorus saw, square saw, the pulse 1, 2, 1, 3, a D-rack, that's exciting. Triangle, male, female, voice, string, saxophone, nasal, cymbal, dark noise, razor, quasi, fractal, shepherd, alien. Okay, that's great. And then next to that, you have a variation potentiometer, so you can kind of create a little variation. That's a great one to modify or to modulate rather. And then we have a pitch, our fine, our keyboard tracking pan, and the width, so you can actually widen each of the oscillator there. And then we have our particle count, high, low, just again get more variation there. Our precision, high, low, medium. So these are 3-point switches here. And then we have 2 filters below that, and you can turn them on with your little LED here. And then we can run them in parallel or serial. And then if we have a drop down, many different types of filters. We have a couple of low pass, high pass. We have a band pass, band reject. We have a couple of comb filters, positive and negative comb filters, low pass 2, and a valve filter down there at the bottom. And again, each one of those has a frequency and a Q, pretty much standard. A velocity. The velocity will affect the cutoff of the filter. And then keyboard tracking. So both of those are exactly identical. And then up here we have a display. This is the particle modifier. We can display the level or the pitch. So that's kind of handy there. I'm going to go ahead and play a quick we're going to flip through some of these oscillators real quick so you can get an idea here. Pretty great, huh? And then we also have a variation slider. So we went ahead and routed LFO1 to the wave type variation, which is this right here. Pretty cool. All right, we're having way too much fun. So I think I went over the particle modifier, the oscillator, 2 filters. Now we also have a modulation and pitch bend wheel, which are vertical as opposed to horizontal. That's kind of exciting. And then we have a range. We can go up to 2 octaves for the pitch bend there. So we can really kind of go crazy with it. So now the main oscillator has up to 5 modifiers, A through E. Each modifier is going to have 2 parameters. Now, as far as modifiers, we have a level, equalizer, level, harmonic mix, noise, tune, scale, offset, harmonize, noise, repeat, mirror, random, duplicate, level, random, pitch, random, low pass, high pass, 12 dB per octave. We have a feedback level as well as a limit. So we have quite a bit of different modifiers there. And you can see as I change the modifier, the parameters are going to change down below here. You can see with level equalizer, we have gain and parity. We have harmonic mix, which has mix and narrow. amount and rate for the noise, and so we can flip through these and you can see that our parameters are changing. We also have a center, so this is where the modifier is taking place. The spread, the fall off, and the keyboard tracking, and these parameters will make more sense once you actually add a modifier to the oscillator and get kind of an idea of what's going on there. But the important thing is we have 5 of them. Now all 5 of them are identical, and all 5 of them will basically modify the main oscillator. So let's go ahead and reset this device. You can see if we turn on the equalizer modifier, what this is going to do to the signal. That's pretty much it. That's it in a nutshell. It's a really good sound design synthesizer. Really actually quite fun to sound design on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to play through this loop I designed real quick, and we're going to try a couple of these modifiers out so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on here. So yeah, pretty cool synthesizer, the Noxious additive wave synthesizer. Like I say, this is a great synthesizer. For what I'm probably going to use it for is mainly top end, creating some variation and some movement in the high end. But yeah, like I say, there's a lot you can do with it. It's basically one oscillator, 5 modifiers. You can run it through 2 filters, and then you have 2 LFOs and 2 mod envelopes for your modulation. as well as some inputs and outputs on the back for your CV input, and you can also use the modulation from this synthesizer to modulate other things in your Reason rack. So yeah, check it out. For $9, I think this thing was a steal. Now, as far as presets go, we have quite a few presets. We have a lot of combinators in here. Signature patches. We have the bass, the bells, mallets, the brass, drums, percussion, lead, organs, pads. Each one of these has a, I don't know, about anywhere from 50. Yeah, I would say there's probably around 200, maybe 300 presets in here. So quite a bit to start you off. I want to flip through some quick presets here and see what we got. We also have a couple of combinators in here, and you actually will be glad to find out that we have a combinator skin for the Noxious. There it is, the combinator skin. And let's go ahead and reroute this. Should be working. Like I say, not a bad synth. Actually, I'm probably going to use this mainly for high-end, probably layering some of my high-end sounds. If you had an opportunity to get this for $9 as part of the end of summer sale, I hope you took advantage of it, because $9 is a pretty good price for this synth. Given that $9 price tag, I'm going to give it a 4.0. But standard price of $59.95, I'm going to have to give this a 3.0, just because I don't think it really has quite the punch in the sound engine that some other rack extensions at that price do have. But all in all, I think it's a really great addition, something that I'll probably grab for when I am looking for kind of that layered sparkle in the high end, maybe some noise, some kind of noisy, kind of slow moving modulation. another great tool, especially for the $9 price tag, so I'm pretty happy with that. I hope you enjoyed the review, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. We're going to have more reviews. Eventually, I'm going to try to review every single rack extension there is in Propellerhead web shop. Anyway, chill computer guy. Take care, comment, give a thumbs up, give a thumbs down, subscribe, unsubscribe, tell a friend, let us know what's going on, leave a comment, let me know below if you want me to review a rack extension. Let me know below, and as long as it's still available to me, or I might own it, or it might go on sale. But yeah, let me know below which rack extension you would like me to review, and we'll give you a full review of that. Thanks again, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.